The big thing that came through for us was really getting feedback from the team on a regular basis. And so now we've implemented a quarterly survey that we do with both our employees and our clients, actually. And that's been a very sort of therapeutic process for us. We've increased the experience of our patients. We've also caught some little fires and little upsets and basically kind of dealt with them before they became what I call forest fires. So it was really helpful that way. And then also just, getting the staff involved in the changes and asking them, hey guys, we're thinking about doing this. So at our monthly staff meetings, we ask those questions and we try to encourage discussion and some engagement. And then we try to actually say, okay, can you help us with that? And we start to delegate tasks, and then they start taking ownership of those tasks. And then there's opportunities for us then to recognize them as well, sort of as a great team member and a good job that they did last month on, whatever that task was. So I think for us, it's been just really getting involved with the team and making them part of the process. So I really want to thank you for that. Well, I mean, it was really interesting because the first thing that came up was fitness, and we have a variety of level of fitness of our employees. My office manager, a little side note, we went to a health seminar and we took our blood pressure, one of those fancy, automated machines, and mine was like bang on, and then hers was way up, and she's like, oh my goodness, I need to really start taking care of this. And so that's when we got interested in trying to do like a gym pass for everybody, and we looked into that. Unfortunately, we got like a whole bunch of people that already have gym passes, so we couldn't really centralize it into one gym. But just the fact that we did that exercise, people, and it demonstrated that we cared and that we want to engage them in some sort of weekly exercise program for sure, that they take care of their central health. And then also financial help, like we talked to our bank and they came in and offered like a group RSP plan, which also led to some free financial planning information for some of our employees. And so I think to get people started on a monthly savings plan is really important. I know I was very fortunate. Someone kind of set me up on that early on in my career. And so I've encouraged everyone to start putting money away and start that savings plan to give you some financial stability in the future. And then also, because of your emphasis on mental health, we started really checking in with people. And I think what came out of that was Belle, my office manager, kind of runs the client care team. And so she checks in with all her team members every week, just say, hey, how's it going? It's just very casual. And then I check in with all the professional staff and just say, like with especially the new guys, I sort of on a Friday afternoon, send them a quick email saying, hey, how'd your week go? And if they're saying, oh, it was great, great. Or if they bring up some issues, I'm like, hey, would you like to do a Zoom meeting on Monday? So if it's something that's easy, we just kind of deal with it over email. But if there's something like, hey, do you want to chat? And I always offer them, a free chat on Monday, sort of either in the morning or the afternoon, because that's the day when I'm out of the office and we can have a private conversation over Zoom if we want, either before or after their shift. So that's been very therapeutic for us as well. And I think the team knows that we're there for them now. And if there's any problems, we have an open door policy, come chat with us. And I tend to sort of shift the operational stuff to Belle, but if there's any sort of things where, hey, I'm having a tough go, I'm feeling stressed, I'm like, well, let's chat about it and see what we can do to help you. So I think people do appreciate that, especially during the whole COVID crisis and all the stuff we lived through last year. So so that's been very, very rewarding for me to actually start thinking that way. In the past, I've always just had my head down, working hard, thinking that everything's going great, when reality, if you're not checking in with your team, there can be stuff that's going on that you weren't aware of. So, and then there's people that might leave for a variety of different reasons, and you might not even know, and because you didn't demonstrate that you cared, they kind of changed their mind and changed their goals. So well, it was quite an interesting story, because all of a sudden, boom, we're closed just like that. And then all of a sudden there's an abrupt kind of disconnection with my team. And so right away I was like, oh, this is so weird, like, because everyone's kind of on their own, they're all at home. So then we kind of sat around and Belle and I chatted, and we figured out that maybe we should put together a Slack channel. So we announced that we're doing a Slack channel so people could post. And so it was kind of fun, because we said, hey, just post jokes if you want, or whatever you want to put, or pictures of your family life or what's going on, just so we could try and keep connected. And that was right when we sort of met you as well. And so then you had some great opportunities and great tips in regards to, hey, you could offer them some yoga videos to get them doing yoga and kind of reducing your stress, some exercise videos, which was great because our team likes to be active. And then you even offered the resilience webinar. That was like perfect timing. And I think we had pretty good attendance. I think about 80% of a team showed up to that for that. And they took notes and they tried to really apply and implement a lot of those skills. And so I think that was really kind of one of the things that ended up taking a negative situation and turning it into a positive one for us, because we had a lot of fun with our Slack channel and we kind of teased each other a little bit. And then it also forced me to kind of check in again once a week with the team. So I would send them emails saying, hey, how's it going? And hey, any news? And then we had weekly meetings as well. So during a crisis, what I've learned is that you have to increase your communication, not decrease it. So every week we just had weekly meetings with the team, and then I'd follow up with a quick email to everybody. And then if there's somebody again that was having trouble that wanted more than just an email, again, I'd offer a free, like, hey, let's have a chat. What time works for you tomorrow? And just, get on the Zoom line and with them and chat with about their concerns or their situation. And again, see how I can help them. If I can't help them directly, then I can refer to somebody who can, and sort of support them that way. So again, and that was kind of a learning experience for me, and I really enjoyed that, sort of just realizing that we really got to over communicate. And there was lots of changes going on during that COVID period, and a lot of miscommunications too. So I went on my way to make sure I got straight to the doctor that was talking about the changes and implementation of all the protocols, so I could then communicate that directly to our team that, hey, this is actually the definition of this, and this is how this works. And the incubation period is 14 days. It's not like what you're hearing in the media, all this other funny stuff. So that's kind of what we did during that abrupt closure period. And thank you for helping us through that. That's a great question. I think for me, it's just, I would tell everybody to persist through these tough times. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think the other thing is to continue learning, be humble and not claim to kind of know it all. And boy, management can be really challenging. My first part of my career was just a clinician, sort of a technician. And then when I decided to open up my own business, I became an instant manager, and managing people can be really challenging. And the more you keep learning and bettering your management skills, I think the easier your company is to run. So you guys have been very supportive that way. So thanks for that. And then I think doing the reevaluation of your processes, your team, the audit process was very therapeutic for me, because I realized, there's some gaps there that we need to fill. And I guess the other thing, again, I just like to emphasize that I would tell everyone to keep asking for feedback. Get your team involved in all those changes, because if they get involved, they feel like they're part of that change and it's evolving with them. So in 2021, one of our big goals is to review our customer experience. And again, we're going to be doing that on a monthly basis, and we're going to try and make sort of one change per week, and just simple little changes, so that by the end of the year, we've got, 52 different little changes that make our client experience that much better, as an overall team. And I think if you have that mindset with your team, that they're going to be trying their best to make everyone happy. But it's my job as a manager to also check in to make sure my employees are happy, because they're not going to produce happy clients unless I have happy employees. So those two always weigh into each other. So I guess I'd say to any owner, like, start with your employees first, make sure they're happy, ask them what else you could do to make their job easier, and on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. And then once they're happy, then say, okay, how can we make our clients' experience better on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? Yeah.